what was one of the best ways of learning poker? A lot of them always say talking poker with other people, or
right.
talking poker with people better than me. But what if
I
there's
don't think
not?
the better than you is that important.
Right.
I think it's talking poker with people that are pretty smart.
Right.
That's important. Because even if maybe you're a little better than someone else at the game, there's still going to be stuff they're better at than you. And so if you have like some amount of humility and have decent enough communication, then you can learn from each other, you know? Like there were times, I remember playing Gabe back in the day, he played some 200, 400 PLO, you know, and obviously then I wasn't giving him like advice, or he wasn't giving me advice, you know, we were trying to take each other's money.
Yeah.
But I remember, because I think I didn't know him that well then or something, but he like lost some, and then I think he lost some, whatever. There was someone like this, it was maybe Gabe, one of our buddies that like, you know, I think lost a few buy-ins back, and then they were like, hey, I'm gonna play some smaller, how'd you think I played? And so then that was like, oh, you know, there's not really a competition going on here, like, and it was someone who had gotten like a little unlucky, and I was like, oh, you know, I think you ran pretty bad, you played fine, something like that. Yeah, I guess if people are trying to be cool about it, then it's a lot easier. You know, if Gabe had asked me that and then the next day he showed back up in the games, I might have been a little irked if I was like, oh, here's something I think you're doing wrong, and then he'd play me the next day. I'd be like, what is this? You know, but so I think it kind of, over time, you figure out the people that seem to be trying to be themselves, be pretty honest, you know, and then it can be mutually beneficial. You know, you can learn from your friends, they can learn from you, that kind of stuff. Even though sometimes, obviously, if I'm sitting there at the same table as Peter or Gabe, we're not saying like, you know, I'm not saying, oh, Peter, here's a read I noticed on you. I'm like, I'm gonna use that read and take his chips, you know?
Yeah.
But then if at the end of some tournament, he's like, oh, I keep losing every day, I guess I'm gonna, I might be like, hey man, every time you have aces, you go like this, you know?
What did you think of the prevalence of online training sites then?
I mean, I think it's good that people have the option to learn more about something they're interested in if they want. But I also, this whole concept of like poker being a sport, you know, that people tried to say and stuff, I don't agree with that. I think it's a game. And I think there's like basically two groups of people. You got a group of people there to make money, and you got a group of people there for enjoyment. And a lot of people are somewhere in the middle, but I think, you know, if you have too much of a race to the bottom of everyone trying to find every last tool they can, that can kind of mess up the game or the economy and stuff a little bit. You know, you don't want it to turn into chess where there's just no money and everybody like.
Well, now we got solvers and everybody's plugging their hands into solvers and.
Yeah, so I think that it's kind of on the organizations to, you know, and here I think Triton has some of the responsibility. Don't know exactly, there's no easy answers yet, but of trying to set up a good structure that's just trying to be cool effectively. And you're always gonna make mistakes, you're not gonna get things perfect. But I think you wanna keep that, you know, environment where it doesn't feel like some people have no chance and some people, you know, I think like full ring, no limit turned into that for a while where if you had recreational players playing, it seemed like they had almost no chance because just the mechanics of the game, the equities, people had studied so much. But I got some ideas.